the role and rewards of a neurophysiotherapist.
One of the things that I most enjoy working at Leeds Bradford Neurophysiotherapy as an independent neurological specialist is the variety of conditions that we may see people who've had quite recent strokes, or from people who've had long-term problems and perhaps severe complex disability. So my particular areas of interest are stroke, acquired brain injury, treating older people with balance problems, which has been a recent interest, is absolutely fascinating because there's so many different ways to approach it depending on analysing the patient's problems. Often they're multifactorial, and the other things are working in nursing homes and care homes. So again, that team working, and we sometimes get that with people who are have acquired brain injuries and who are working as part of a multidisciplinary team, which is really excellent to be able to call on and learn from other members in the team and get a really very joined up approach to people's treatment. So the satisfaction is often around that really close relationship that you build up with somebody. The analysis is not just of the person themselves, but of their whole holistic situation. So it's not just the physical problems, it's the whole gamut of them, their expectations, their goals, and that's so important to then work out the appropriate approach for that person. The neurological physiotherapy is largely about promoting that neuroplasticity, so that central nervous system that's ready to change after injury, but that change has to be as positive as we can influence it and the patient can influence it themselves. That's not just happening within the physio sessions, that's also happening through the 24 hours. So to enable the person to manage their condition through understanding it more and understanding what helps them, and also to help their supporters, if that's a care team or their family, can be immensely rewarding. So that the analysis is detailed, and I enjoy that. It's hard work because that analysis isn't only through that initial assessment period, it actually can be moment to moment as you're hands-on treating somebody. So for example, if I was treating somebody and trying to improve their upper limb control and activity and strength, then I would carefully select the starting position, perhaps with the person resting back into the chair to get some trunk support initially. I'd carefully think of how to put my hands to support the alignment of the limb and to de-weight the limb initially. Select my activity, which might be reaching for something, might be supporting them to extend their hand as well, and then through repetition might quickly see a change in that person's abilities. And so being very analytical, appreciating the need to reduce the support you're giving as the person improves what they're able to produce and the strength they can find in that limb, and then selecting the right amount of repetitions, the right amount of encouragement, perhaps taking that initially just upper limb activity into an activity that builds up the support and the control from the trunk as well, as you ask them to come forward away from the back of the chair. So it's really detailed analysis using the clinical reasoning process that we use throughout all physio, but it's not only from the beginning of the sessions through a course of treatment, but it's also moment to moment within treatment, and that's it's hard work, but it's incredibly rewarding. And when you see those that improvement in front of your eyes with your patient, and we really do look for an improvement in every session. So the patient should be improving, and when they improve, you then need to change your treatment. If the improvement isn't happening quite as fast as you want it to within a session, you have to change your direction and approach it from a different angle. And the Bobath approach to neurophysiotherapy, which I think is incredibly helpful. That concept is a fantastic way to look at patients' issues. No, and the deeper your knowledge is, then the deeper the more you can offer your patients. But that's also the frustration of the role, because you can never know enough. You can never know it all, and very much the more you can learn, whether that's anatomy, functional anatomy, pathology, recent educational theories as well. But very valuable to learn.
And finally, a brief summary of the role and rewards of a career working as a neurophysiotherapist.